he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
Shabbat Shalom, Terry. Welcome to the Habitual Line Steppers podcast. I'm Garrett Langley Henson.
I'm Terry Ricardo Bichetto II. What's up, baby? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. It's a cause for celebration. I'm breaking all the glass in my house. Kyrie Irving has finally been suspended by the NBA, by the Brooklyn Nets, 5 games.
Yeah. After
refusing to apologize and address the anti-Semitic documentary propaganda film that he promoted on Twitter.
Yep.
He spent a lot of time saying, I take responsibility. He said, he was like, how could I hate Jews when I know my own heritage? It's like, bro, you literally posted a link to a video that said the Holocaust was one of the 5 lies made up by Jewish media and was quoting Adolf Hitler. Like, what do you mean I take responsibility, but I can't insult Jewish people if I know my own heritage? So he spent a whole week talking around nothing, making sure he didn't apologize. And then the Nets, they finally delivered a statement after seeing 5 Jews courtside wearing shirts that say, stop anti-Semitism. They got a call from Adam Silver, a renowned Jew, and they're like, listen, we got to shut this shit down. He got suspended, and I think it took 45 minutes for him to finally apologize after the suspension.
Yeah.
After a week of refusing to. They finally held his feet to the fire. Terry, would you like to read the long-form version of Kyrie Irving's suspension?
Nah. He posted it on social media. It's super long. Like,
this shit is longer than Obama's original birth certificate they're looking for.
It's an interesting one, man. I mean, like, he apologized on Instagram, but really in person, it didn't really seem, all that sincere. It's very interesting the way that he kind of doubled down. And if I'm him, I better tread lightly. Because Adam Silver, I feel like Adam Silver kind of let this slide a little bit. Because he could have put the hammer down on him pretty fast. They're not too kindly on like disrespect towards different communities and stuff like that. And he's Jewish himself, Mr. Adam Silver. But like 5 is light. Could have been 10, could have been 15 in my opinion. Plus it was no apology until he got suspended. You see him on camera every time. He's just like, I'll take responsibility. I'm not backtracking. I said what I said. I'll take responsibility.
He was like, I got a whole army behind me and I stand where I stand or something like that, about having a whole army behind him and not switching up his stance. It's like all you had to do was say the 2 words that you finally said after $500,000 of donations, 5 games of suspension, and a week full of turmoil. I'm sorry. That's it. That's all people wanted to hear, man. And if you're going to put something out there that is like, I'm just exploring my black heritage, but the rest of the film is just like hallelujah quotes from Adolf Hitler. Like, if you're going to do that, man, then you got to be able to come out there and explain the parts that like were relevant to you, were meaningful to you, the reasons that you looked at this film, the things that you identified with, the things that didn't resonate with you. He didn't do any of that. He was like, I don't have a responsibility. I'm no different than any other guy out here. I'm just a person. And then he was like, in the same breath, I have a big platform and a big responsibility. A lot of people who look up to me. I was like, wait a minute. Did somebody just use the force on this motherfucker? Like, these droids are good to go.
It's just, I don't understand. It's like, all right, Mr. Rick James, what do I look like? I'm out here just stepping on people's couches like this. Like, come on, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I stepped on his couch. Fuck his couch. I don't give it. Like, come on, dog.
Conspiracy is a hell of a drug.
At least give me my bad. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have to be like sincere. Like, hey, look, my bad. I didn't mean to do it. But plus, like, and this kind of.
He didn't even say that I'm against anti-Semitism. They asked him point blank like 5 times. Are you anti-Semitic? Do you stand against anti-Semitism? And he refused to say, like, I'd condemn it. He was just like, How could I be anti-Semitic if I explored my own roots and I know where my people came from? And then Anti-Defamation was like, they were like, you know what? Go ahead and keep your $500,000 donation, dude.
Yeah.
We don't want it. If you're not even going to apologize and come out here and act like you're a Jew now, no.
Nah, he did on Instagram, but like every time you see him in person, he didn't. But it just.
But the Instagram shit wasn't until after the suspension.
Exactly. Every apology was after the suspension. There was no apology before the suspension. I mean, like it was sort of a half-hearted. Like I don't even know what to call it because he didn't really take a stance.
This shit was a Kyrie special. He started it. Like you always know Kyrie is a master of the setup moves. How he manipulates the pick and roll, how he snakes the shit, gets in the lane, finishes with either hand. He set it up like it was going to be an apology. Like the first 4 or 5 sentences, I was like, okay, here it comes. And then you're just like, here it comes. 1 second on the shot clock. Here it comes. And the apologies never came. And he was like, yeah, good thing we got to sort this out.
Yeah, I don't know. The league called him on carrying. He was carrying it for way too long. He should have just hit the crossover. I don't understand. You just say your apology, move on. And this is why the way that he acted in person in front of people, in front of the media, makes it seem like he did not watch the shit. Because like I couldn't watch the film. I watched like 5 minutes. I was like, there's no way he watched it or anyone watched this shit because it was so boring. It was so longly just dragged out like fucking RuPaul. I couldn't watch it. It was too much, bro. I couldn't do it. I was like, there's no way Kyrie watched this movie. Because if he did, there's no way he'd be like, yeah, I mean, I just put it out there. You would be putting shit out there like that. It was a wild, very, very anti-Semitic movie. And do not watch that shit unless you know you're anti-Semitic. Go ahead.
If I was Duke, I'd revoke his diploma. I'd be like, I don't want you associated with our school anymore. We scrubbing the records. You never went here. Kyrie Irving went straight to the league.
He didn't graduate.
Well, that's for sure. They don't let you graduate if you believe the earth is flat and Pentecost didn't exist. They don't let you graduate from Duke.
Like Kyrie Irving. I mean, he went to Duke for like, what, 1 semester? You played basketball for like.
He's like, listen, man, I went to an Ivy League school. I went to 1 semester of classes and saw 100 hours of YouTube videos. I know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm an expert on this.
Yeah. He's looking real crazy out here, bro. Like, it's starting to, when you got those graphs and it's like talent versus quacked out craziness, and like meet in the middle, the little axis. At this point, he's not worth the talent, bro. He's not worth the talent. He hasn't been great in a long time. Consistently for a season and playoffs, bro. Regular season and playoffs, has he been worth it to keep on a team?
First of all, has he been worth it? Was it worth it when he demanded that DeAndre Jordan start over Jared Allen and then they fired Kenny Atkinson because he had the nerve to play Jared Allen over DeAndre Jordan? Then because of Kyrie, they fire their coach, trade Jared Allen, so they have the privilege of starting the big three of DeAndre Jordan, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. They actually do all right with that threesome, and then they get James Harden, who Kyrie embraces for all of 4 weeks before he refuses to play in the season and take the vaccine. Drives James Harden out of town, their best chance at winning the championship. And now it's Ben Simmons, and it's another coach. Like, how many – Kyrie has been the root of every single problem the Nets have had over the last half decade. He's fucked everything up. Jared Allen, Kenny Atkinson, James Harden, Ben Simmons. Where's the root? Oh, Steve Nash, Kyrie Irving. The root of it all.
I think he gets majority of the blame, but KD gets some of the blame too. Sean Marks gets some of the blame as well.
Harden didn't leave because of KD. He left because he looked at Kyrie and he was like, I came for a big 3, not a big 2 1/5.
Nah, the Harden situation was tough. I mean, I think that was their best time to win the chip. That was so unfortunate. But it just seems like at this point, Kyrie we knew was going to get hurt. He's just snake bitten. He's always going to get hurt. And it seems like maybe it's just because he's so fucking evil. he can't play for a long time. You know, he's got those bad bones in his body. He's a bad egg, bro. He can't finish the season. He can't. He sprained his ankle, and that was the catastrophic injury that kind of messed up the whole playoff run. Because realistically, you know, if KD gets them out of that series, and then Kyrie gets to come back, and then Harden gets to come back versus Atlanta, you know I love Atlanta, but KD, Harden, and Kyrie, Trae Young, I love you, brother, but you ain't beating those motherfuckers. They're going straight to the finals, and who knows if they beat the Suns or not? But I'm just saying.
They were cooking everyone on bad on hamstring. James Harden couldn't even fucking run around, and they were cooking everybody. Like,
yeah, I don't know, man. So man, it's tough, bro. But you're right. It's all Kyrie though. Kyrie pretty much messed up this whole situation, and at this point, he ain't worth it. I'd cut his ass for $47 million. I don't care. How much is he making? Get him out of here. 30 mil, 35. I don't know what his contract's worth, but get him out of here, bro. I'm done with him. I'm done.
If they cut him, he'd clear waivers. Like no one would pick him up in the whole league.
No way. He's toxic now. It's just at this point, the Nets just have to keep him because they're like, well, we don't have any picks, so it's in our best interest to try to win this season. Because if you get rid of him, KD can't do that by himself. He'll tear his fucking Achilles again, try to bring that team up.
Let me tell you what, bro. It's over in Brooklyn. Ain't no trying to win this season. Like
playoffs.
Their center is Ben Simmons, who
he's
his best
center. He's the point center. Don't forget.
Yeah, okay, we'll see how well that works. The roster construction is terrible. Kevin Durant's been the worst defensive player in the league, and there's a guy named Trae Young running around in Atlanta. The Nets are cooked, dude. Ain't no winning this season. It's trade Kevin Durant this season to the Memphis Grizzlies and get some young guys back so you can reload for the future. It's over. It's done. It's a wrap. Kyrie Irving took a match and set this entire organization on fire. And now it's up to them to put it out, pick up the pieces, and try to move on. But it's not going to end in a championship this season. It's a wrap for the whole thing, whole dynasty. It's done.
KD, you just wasted 4 years of your NBA career, man. You know, there goes the scoring title chances. Because realistically, bro, like if he would have played great for the 4 years, I'm looking like, damn, he might pass LeBron, which is inconceivable or whatever, however, unconceivable. Like it's fucking crazy.
This is what happens when you hitch your wagon to the wrong guy.
No,
if Kevin Durant had teamed up with pretty much any other superstar in Brooklyn, I think they would have been fine. If Kevin Durant had just went up there with if they had just made the Halliburton trade for Kyrie or Harden or whatever, and they just had Kevin Durant, Halliburton, and Jared Allen with Joe Harris and some shooters, that team would be 10 times better than everything they put themselves through. All this drama, $500,000 in donations and fines, suspensions, so that you guys can end up being a play-in team in the East.
It's all hypotheticals and everything, but KD is damned if he did, damned if he didn't, bro. Like, if he would have stayed in Golden State, I hear everyone, all these fucking podcasts and shows, they're just like, I don't understand why he left Steph Curry like that. Because we were going to torch his ass as he stayed there. If he stayed there, we'd be like, yo, this guy's a fraud. We don't care. Win 8 championships. They're all asterisk. You suck. We don't give a fuck. You're not top 10. He moved to Kyrie, and everybody's like, why'd you leave Steph Curry? I don't understand what you're doing. So it's just like, he's like, I can't win. You can't win, brother. It's done for you.
Hey, I didn't say that he shouldn't have left the Warriors. I said he shouldn't attach the rest of his future to Kyrie Irving. If he had picked Jimmy Butler and left the Warriors to go to the Heat, the motherfucker would have been fine. If he had picked Joel Embiid, motherfucker would have been fine. If he had picked the Suns, the Grizzlies, et cetera, down the line, your man would have been just fine. But he chose third eye Kyrie.
Hey.
And everything's opened up in Brooklyn, but the possibility to make the finals.
No playoffs? No play-in?
Play in to play out, get bounced by the fucking Bulls in the first round of play.
I mean, is there a conceivable way that KD, Kyrie, Sean Marks are still employed by the Nets by Christmas or by the end of the season? If they, let's not even say if they win or lose, just in general. I don't think any of them should be on this team.
I mean, the only way that Sean Marks is still there is if he hires Ime Udoka away from the Celtics and he comes in and it's like the military drill instructor. And he's like, all right, that's it. That's enough. I don't know who the fuck the last guy you had in here, but you maggots get up, make your beds. It's 3 a.m. And he just drills the shit into Kevin Durant and Kyrie. It's like, you thought you didn't need a coach? You thought you didn't need a coach? 50 up downs. Let me see him. Burpees. Like, that's going to be the only way. But
who do you think he is? He's not Jesus Christ. Like, do you really think these two dudes are going to be like, yeah, we'll listen to you. We got you, coach. We'll fight all for the team, all for Brooklyn. It's not happening.
He's better than Jesus Christ. JC wasn't getting it in like Ime. JC wasn't laying down the pipe.
IU.
Ime said, I don't need 3 days to come back to the pussy. I'll get back in it right now. I'm a superstar. Yeah. So, Terry, we reported before it was breaking news. If you listen to this podcast, it's broken news. Rather, we speculated that the Nets could send the Celtics some form of compensation in order to get Ime Udoka to reunite with Kevin Durant, who he coached on the Nets staff before and with Team USA, and they have a strong relationship, according to a report by Shams Charania back in June. So now it seems like talks have intensified, with Woj reporting the deal could be done in the next 24 to 48 hours for Ime Udoka. It's looking like the Celtics are going to be happy to just let him walk out the door for nothing. They're not even going to seek any draft pick compensation as long as the Nets pay out the rest of his Celtics contract, pretty much. What do you think this does for the Brooklyn Nets? And what details do you expect to emerge about his sexual impropriety from the Celtics organization less than a week after he leaves and joins the Nets? Because I expect a boatload of leaks, like a canoe with 15 holes looking like a bottom of Swiss cheese.
I don't know, brother. This is going to be a sticky one. If the Celtics are pieces of shit, if the Celtics are absolute assholes, they can just, throw the shit out there, because it's not the NBA who suspended them. It was just the Celtics. This is why, it's a little too soon. I feel like it's too soon, to get your boy hired. Am I wrong? Like, can we give it at least a couple months?
Well, to the Nets' credit, they did put out a statement saying that they were doing due diligence on the Ime Udoka situation.
Okay.
A sexual harassment thing that occurred over the course of a year with apparently multiple female staffers. And the Nets are going to do their due diligence in 24 to 48 hours while they're finalizing the contract with Ime Udoka. Terry, Kevin Durant asked for Steve Nash to be fired and Ime Udoka to be hired this summer. This summer. They had this deal in the books forever, but they couldn't just capitulate to Kevin Durant and be like, they're like, the GM, Sean Mars, he was like, KD, if you just would have shut the fuck up, I would have fired Steve Nash already and replaced him with Ime Udoka. Now I can't fire him now that you've demanded to fire him. Yeah. I got to give him 7 games into the regular season and then fire him in the middle of a back-to-back off a win. Coming off a win in the middle of a back-to-back. You can clearly see the tea leaves in this. This Ime Udoka Nets thing has been in the works for some time now. They had plans to fire Steve Nash for months. They've already done their due diligence, if they're doing any, on Ime Udoka. And I think you could expect him to be confirmed as the Nets head coach shortly. And shortly after that, you can expect to hear all the insidious and lustful details from his improper relationship with the Celtics staffer. Because why would the Celtics continue to keep this information in-house now?
I don't know. They're holding out. They're holding out like TMZ. Look, bro.
Till the paperwork is dry. Till the ink is dry. As soon as he's in net and he puts that black and white hat back on, leaks.
Pretty much, bro. This shit. The inmates are running the asylum. Clearly. The whole front office for Brooklyn needs to be fired because this is a fucking joke. They're turning Brooklyn into a joke. I loved it better when Provorov was the owner. Because at this point, this is a joke. This is an absolute joke, bro. Brooklyn looks like the ugly stepsister of New York. Knicks before. What are they now? The Hunchback of Notre Dame? They're like a leper. These motherfuckers are stupid. This is just silly. It's so silly, bro. Like, what are we doing? It's like a soap opera, dog. This is the NBA. This is a soap opera. This shit is fucking comedy every day. And Stephen A's got to yell about it every day. Skip and Shannon, they got to yell about it every day. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I don't want to talk about LeBron.
It is a soap opera. And Kyrie Irving is out here. And who are the people who taught us that we were unclean naturally and that we needed soap? That we weren't good enough and that we had to cleanse? I think we know. Who made the most money off soap? You never heard of the transatlantic soap trade? Right.
Jesus Christ. Nah, it's done. It's done. Brooklyn, I'm out on Brooklyn. I'm so sick of this soap opera, bro. But if Ime does get hired, I'm gonna be like, damn, I'm back in. These motherfuckers are good. Whoever's writing this show is really good. The producer and the director is like amazing. This is amazing, bro. It's amazing. I'm ready for it though. Ime, let's see what you can do.
You couldn't write this NBA season if you worked for HBO. And
wait a minute. How about this though? Are they sure they want to hire Ime? Because if Ime can't get it together, KD and Kyrie are fucking out of here. Especially KD. It's like, you couldn't even get this guy, the Pop Jr.
First of all,
Mr.
Memphis,
Pop Jr.
KD already bought 45 plane tickets to Memphis just to make sure that he is the proper seat and that he is the flight available when the time comes. He's out of there, dude. That phony baloney statement he put out that I'm committed to the Nets going forward in our partnership. Get the fuck out of here, dude. You just requested the GM and coach be fired 2 weeks ago. And now you more committed than ever. Come on, man. We know what's going on.
My favorite part of the show, of the soap opera, Days of Our Nets.
Oh!
I was shocked when Steve Nash got fired. I didn't see it coming at all. I don't know why he got fired. He was a really good coach. I'm so sorry Steve Nash had to let it go. I pray for him and his family. KD, get the fuck out of here, bro. You're ruining the script, man. You gotta be a better actor than that. That's fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah, they wouldn't even let his ass in Power doing that shit. Hey, when he tweeted that, when he was like, I'm shocked, I was like, I'm shocked my car won't turn on. All I did was drive it off a cliff.
This dude, man, I love KD, bro. He's just a jokester. I feel like he's trolling all of us. He's like, yeah, this whole net shit was a sham. I just wanted to see how bad I could fuck up the Nets.
You trolling yourself, bro. You fucked up your own legacy. I don't know what to tell you, man.
At this point, if he wins a championship on his own, do we even care? Are we going to be like, KD's back. He's number 9.
If he does, it'll be like with John Morant being the best player. It ain't going to be on his own.
He can't win with him. John Morant's not a top 10 player, brother. All right.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of those takes that I rescind next week. When we have our takes to take back. Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true. Hey, man.
I tell you, there's another man who had some things that he wished he could have taken back. And that leads us to this week's nominations for Line Stepper of the Week, Terry.
Oh, man. We're back. Line Stepper of the Week is back.
Now, the first nomination for Line Stepper of the Week, a story I would have loved to never talk about again, but unfortunately it's back in the light because it's been mishandled once again. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department allowed Miles Bridges to plead no contest to 2 counts of felony domestic violence. He will serve not 1 day of jail time, gets 2 years of probation, and has to pay like a $300 fine.
That's crazy.
He shares joint custody of the kids with the baby's mother.
That's crazy.
And is eligible to be reinstated into the NBA today.
Interesting. Is the NBA going to let him in? I don't know.
I surely hope not. If you don't let Myers Leonard back in after saying kike while you were playing Call of Duty, you better not let fucking Miles Bridges back in. I'll tell you that much. If they do, then Kyrie was right. I'm playing around. Guys. I'm playing around.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, nah. That'd be insane. I mean, if the NBA doesn't let him in, there's another league, the NFL.
Yeah, I was like, he can play running back for the Browns tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, no, he can play running back for the Browns. He can play defensive end for the Cowboys. He can play running back for the Baltimore Ravens. He can play wide receiver for the New York Jets. There's a bunch of different teams that'll take him out there. NBA, hopefully they don't play that shit in the NBA. I hope, but the way they handle the Kyrie shit, I don't know. Maybe they get a little soft. Maybe the Lakers might sign him. Imagine LA County mishandles it, and he gets signed by the LA Lakers. Oh, nah. Hey, fuck Brooklyn.
Then we'd really have to open our third eye and be like, did the Lakers pay off the county so that he wouldn't get any jail time? And so this could be the way they save their season. Then we'd really have to peel back, the layers and whatnot.
Yeah. No, that'd be.
For me, I hope he does not. I hope the league comes out and suspends him anyway, like indefinitely, at least for a year, but indefinitely after that. And I hope the rest of the teams are like, yeah, we're not going to give this dude a second chance. Like, you beat the shit out of your wife in front of your little kid. So I don't care how high you can jump and how many threes you can make. You're not going to be doing it for us.
Yeah, I don't, especially in the climate that we are in now, I don't really see him getting on the NBA team this year, maybe next year, but it's going to be tough. I don't see it happening.
Do you think he'll be back? Do you think we'll see Miles Bridges in the NBA again?
The NBA ever again? I mean, man, based on the way he played last year, I think he might find a team. But I can't, we watch a lot of sports, but I can't think of there's some NBA stories I know where dudes like hit their wife and it got slid under the rug, but not in these times that I can remember. Not in in the past 5 years, I would say. Like, I remember Rashid did some crazy shit. I want to say 20-ish years ago in Portland with his wife. I don't even know if they were married at that time, but I know I think he hit his wife or strangled her. And besides that,
if I remember correctly, Jason Kidd had something.
Yeah, allegedly. Everything's alleged. We don't know. I ain't trying to get canceled.
Chauncey Billups and Antoine, what's his name?
That case is pending, so we don't know.
What's the name of his shit? They raped that girl.
Yeah, that was.
I read the court report of that shit. That shit was graphic as fuck. That shit was terrible. And Chauncey Billups going to the Hall of Fame. So it's a different day we live in with, Twitter and global media and everyone having cell phones and being their own reporter. Yeah. So hopefully this gets more exposure and he's not allowed to just do the turkey circuit and go into the G League. And then after 2 years, we forgot about it and he's playing for the fucking Thunder.
That's probably going to happen. So, I mean, I'm not really, surprised if it does. We'll see. If they take a stance, I'm cool with it. If they don't, keep watching the games. It is what it is.
I tell you what, Mikal Bridges has never been so quick to correct people that is not his brother.
It just reminds me of it was a reporter. His name was Jerry Sandusky, and then every email he got, he was like, "Look, I am not Jerry Sandusky from Penn State. I just am a media member for Penn State."
That's a rough one. You got to transfer to a different fucking place in the country, dude. You can't be in Pennsylvania with the name Jerry Sandusky. You can't even order a Jersey Mike's. Order up for Jerry Sandusky. They're like, yeah, we put the leprosy and the AIDS in this one. Go ahead and enjoy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, speaking of touching, let's touch on some new NBA news, man.
Hold on. No, I got a question for you before we get serious.
Go ahead.
What would be the last name that you would want to have if you were named after a celebrity? What would be the last person that you would want to be named?
Ooh, the last name I want to have. Jesus. Griner? No, I'm just playing. That's too bad.
Oh, man. Would you take her last name just because she'd be the top and you'd be the bottom? Is that how that worked?
That's tough. Only if you lower the rims 1 foot. Let me see. Simpson is tough for me. If my name was like TJ Simpson, I'd be like, whoa.
No, it's got to be the whole name, like the whole joint. Yeah, if you were named Orenthal James Simpson. That was mine. That was mine. That was where my first head went. If I was named Orthal James Simpson also, like, that would be the worst.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. No, Ray Caruth is bad. A lot of people don't know that one.
Ooh.
Ray Caruth is tough. I don't know. It's a lot of weird ones. I mean, shit, now these days, Baldwin's tough.
Hey, yeah, don't see a lot of Baldwins. Don't see a lot of Adolfs running around either.
There's no Adolfs and there's no fucking mustaches like that. I can't believe Michael Jordan thought he had the audacity to wear a Hitler stash and try to bring it back. Like, dog, MJ, you're the man. You got $1 billion from your clothes and your shoes, but you can't even pull that off. There's no one that can do that. That's done. That whole look is out of here. No one can bring that back. All right, stop it. That's done. This guy's crazy. Who do you think he is, Kyrie? This guy's fucking insane. MJ.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyways.
Hey, even I had one that was too across the line. Even I had to put that one back in the chamber.
Hey, do it for the monetary reasons. Don't cross the line too much. Straddle it. Is it too much?
That's right. We'll see. He's going to come out with the Jordan 328-K5. They're going to have the Hitler mustache on the bottom on the sole. Oh, excuse me. Those are going to be the Kyries.
Oh, man.
The mustache, it has added texture for additional traction for your dribble moves, so you can change direction.
Yeah, Jordan, you were wilding, bro. You were wilding. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking.
Hey, our other nominee for habitual line stepper of the week is Josh Primo. The 19-year-old kid, soon to be turning 20 in December, who was released by the San Antonio Spurs just last week, not a couple of weeks after they picked up his third-year option, his fourth-year option, and his fifth-year option.
Yep.
That may lead you to wonder, why would the San Antonio Spurs cut their first-round pick, a lottery pick, a mere 450 games into his NBA career? Terry, do you know that Josh Primo was the most quickly cut first-round pick in NBA history?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, most quickly cut first-round pick in NBA history. There has never been a first-round pick who was dismissed from the team and given up on quicker than Josh Primo, who they just picked up options for the next 3 years. Let's make sense of it. Well, he surely must have done something after they picked up these options to precipitate this, right, Terry? Right? There's clearly some climax, some crazy thing that he did after they picked up his option. Well, it turns out the team therapist for the San Antonio Spurs is suing the whole organization and Josh Primo, alleging that he exposed himself to her in multiple therapy meetings 8 different times that she documented, reported it to the HR department, reported it to the general manager, and even to Greg Popovich himself, all the way back in March of this year.
Yeah, that's wild, man. That's wild.
They tried to sweep it under the carpet, tried to cover it up. She says, you know what? I quit. I'm going to sue the team. This is coming out. Next thing you know, Josh Primo gets cut. What were the Spurs thinking? Why wouldn't they just cut him in March when they found out he was pulling his dick out in therapy?
Because it's probably one of those things where like that type of shit, if somebody, imagine, put yourself in their shoes, right? If someone comes up to you and tells you something.
Listen, I am constantly imagining I have a bigger dick, but don't worry.
No, seriously though. But like, put yourself, just imagine, right? You're them. Anytime someone just tells you some off the wall shit, you're just like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. And you just keep it moving. I'm pretty sure that's what they all did. They're like, hey, look, I don't know what you're trying to do here, but I don't believe that shit. Get out of my face with that. And they kept it moving. But in these instances, if that lady tells you multiple times, it was multiple times, you said that she said what? She said it to them how many times?
8 times.
That seems like it's repetitive. That seems like it's a problem. It's consistent. You need to look into the shit. Now, if this is true, the Spurs are in trouble. Pop's in trouble. Everybody in that organization is in very deep water, bro, because that is a situation you don't want to catch yourself in. But Primo, man, I don't know what you were thinking.
Right. Well, so yeah, Josh Primo talking out both sides of his mouth like he's Kyrie Irving. As soon as he gets cut by a team, he puts out a statement saying, I own my part in this. I apologize to everyone who was hurt. I'm seeking counseling to deal with previous trauma that has affected me, and I'll get this right, and I'm going to put in the work to heal my trauma. Then after that, he releases a statement that says, and I quote Terry, sources close to Primo are insistent that he never intentionally exposed his privates, and if anything was visible at the time, it was strictly a wardrobe malfunction resulting from laying down on the couch in basketball shorts.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing?
Come on, man. Listen, my friend Nicholas Matsugakis, shout out to you. His mom used to tape Patrick Ewing's dick to his fucking thigh before Georgetown basketball games. Patrick Ewing, when he had a meeting with the dean, didn't go in wearing those basketball shorts, knowing that his dick was going to spill out. He knew that that was something that he couldn't do. If you're Josh Primo and you're carrying around a fucking prehistoric club, you can't go to your therapy meeting wearing fucking skimpies and no draws. Like, come on, man. You know what you're doing. Don't act like it's a wardrobe malfunction. I didn't see Justin Timberlake show up.
I'm going to have you naked by the end of this. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's
This
too much
is nonsense.
going on. Listen, I'm out. I'm out on Primo. Primo, I'm out on you, bro. I don't know what the fuck he was doing.
Hey, what was shorter? Deshaun Watson's towel or Josh Primo's shorts? What do you think?
Yes.
or Josh Primo's NBA career. That's the third option.
I'm going with the NBA career.
Hey, random trivia. Do you know whose record he broke for being the quickest first round pick ever to get cut? You know who it was before?
Quickest first round pick to ever get cut. What about the blind guy that they drafted? That charity one.
No.
Was it quicker
I'm
than
not
that?
counting the motherfucker from. I'm not counting the guy from Oregon who had the blood disease either, where he couldn't play basketball.
Oh God, fuck! Who was that?
I'll give you a hint. He played at UNC.
Wow. Theo Pinson? Who?
Kendall Marshall.
Whoa. Why did he get
Fastest
cut?
first round pick ever to get cut until Josh Primo. Shouts out to Josh Primo.
That's crazy.
Breaking records.
Well, he beat that blind guy, so I'll take that.
Is that what he's doing after basketball? He's beating up on blind folks?
Nah, I think he's just gonna get into pogo sticking.
I think he should just get into OnlyFans, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Hey, but Terry, you and I, even though we're podcast hosts, we are only fans of our teams as well. We're irrational. We're erratic. We get caught up in the moment. And this weekend, both of our teams participated in blockbuster trades in the NFL right before the NFL trade deadline set off. Your Chicago Bears, they traded away Roquan Smith. They traded away Robert Quinn. Everyone's talking about the sky is falling. They're getting away all their best players. How are you going to find out if Justin Fields is any good if there's no talent on the team? Well, they addressed that problem, trading for Chase Claypool from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Terry, you are a Bears fan. You are a guy who's waited to see Justin Fields throw balls to a receiver who is taller than 5'8". What's your level of excitement after hearing this news?
Oh man, I think it's a great move. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. You know, they answered the questions that we were all asking. Why are you tanking? The Packers suck. The Lions suck. NFC's bad. We can sneak into the playoffs with this team. You know, we don't need to have a good draft pick because you know why? We don't have a first round draft pick for this draft. So there's no incentive for us to suck. We need to see if we can be good on the offensive end. And I like that we picked up Claypool. You know, it wasn't working up there in Pittsburgh with Pickett. You know, the remains of Ben Roethlisberger was his quarterback. And whoever, Trubisky, like, we already know he's a failure. Take it from me. I saw him at UNC. I was like, whoever drafts him in the first round, I was like, fucking idiot. And we did it. And I was like, oh, look at that. The Bears picked him. Number 3 overall. Oh, look at that. With Mahomes sitting there, no fucking way. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, I think it's a good pickup. Look, I think Claypool was getting a little lazy out there in Pittsburgh. He was like, look, these quarterbacks suck. I'm not going to show you my full potential anymore. This is my 3rd year here, and we still don't have a good quarterback. I'm out. I'm out of here. So
hey, that rookie year, man, that rookie year that he had, you were like, oh, this is a guy. You were like, Chase Claypool could win offensive rookie. I mean, that was like,
I feel like his first and second year, it seemed like he was actually like trying and shit. But this year, I definitely saw him just like straighten out some routes instead of coming back towards the ball. Give me a full commitment on a slant. Give me a full commitment on a fucking go or a fucking comeback. Any route. I was like, damn, can you give me some effort? I drafted him on my fantasy team. And there's 70% of the people in our fantasy, like the whole entire of the league, are just like, I'm not giving up on him. I will not put him in waivers. Fuck that. People believe in the guy. He's got talent. He just needs to show it. Hopefully he shows it with Chicago. They got a game coming up. Hopefully, he can give us something. I know learning the playbook is hard, in the NFL and all that, but hopefully there's a few.
I'm sure it's not going to be too hard for him, man. They're going to make life easy on him. They're not going to ask him to come out here and be fucking Wes Welker and run a bunch of option routes and sit in the holes in the zone.
That's not.
They're going to be like, listen, man, you got Megatron measurables. You're 6'4", you're 230, you run like a fucking deer, you jump like a fucking horse. Like, go out there and catch some fades. Like, go take a slant to the house. Like, Justin Fields is going to be rolling out, running around back there. Can you make the most out of some broken plays? Like, while the defense is scrambling, can you make up your own route and come back to the football? Those are going to be all the type of things that he does for them. And for the Bears, it's like you needed that big target, man. Like, your other big guys are slow, and they can't get open. And Darnell Mooney is like the only receiver on the whole team who's proven he can get separation. And his catch radius is so small that it's hard for Justin Fields to hit him with consistency. Now you got a guy who can do some of those same things, can take the top off the defense. In one-on-one coverage, he's a problem against smaller players.
Yeah.
I think this is a big move for you guys, and I expect him to be pretty good for the Bears. Certainly better than he was for the Steelers.
Yeah, and it's just nice to see the Bears as an organization, put some more value on the offensive side. Like, I feel like they did it with Jake Bell and Brandon Marshall, but that was really one of the few times we'd ever really seen them go out there and get a receiver and go out there and get a quarterback. Like, this is the second time they've ever really done this. And honestly, those two guys worked out. I mean, they played, together, which, will help you a lot. But if you get talent, you're going to get results back. They went out there and got some talent. Hopefully the same thing happens. They get some results back. Good luck for Justin Fields. I like it. The offensive line is showing some promise as well. So I think it'll work out. I think it's going to be a recipe for success. So good luck.
Jay Cutler was working out all right, working out on a stationary bicycle on the sideline.
That's a lasting image in our heads with Jay Cutler, but he was actually pretty good for Chicago.
That and him running straight backwards from the snap. Those are the two lasting images. Doing a drop back that I've never seen. Backpedaling like a fucking defensive back under center. Those are the lasting images.
Frank Tarkenton drop back, baby. It's so crazy. But nah, he was good there. Fields looks good, man. He's got some promise. You can tell Mooney can catch the fucking ball. That's no joke. And St. Brown is decent. He just really can't separate crazy like that. So Claypool, he's a combination of both of them. And he's 6'4". He's going to be good. I'm just letting y'all know. He's going to be good.
He's going to be good. He's going to be good. And I think he'll leave a great new impression for you guys there in Chicago. Calvin Ridley, the last impression he left on the Falcons, he was scared, running away from contact, throwing himself on the ground, looking like he didn't want to be out in the football field. Then he retired for mental health reasons, took some time away from the game. In his time away from the game, he decided to pass his time by making some bets. Terry, do you remember the game that he bet on? What game it was?
I do not.
He bet on the Atlanta Falcons to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, about a year later, the Atlanta Falcons have decided that they're trading Calvin Ridley to the Jacksonville Jaguars. After his year-long suspension for gambling, he still hasn't been reinstated. The Falcons, I just got to give it up to the GM, Terry Fontenot. putting Terrys on the map, giving them a good name. You guys got a couple Terrys out here in the public sphere now. You guys are blowing up.
We need to move Terry Crews out of here. Terry's in here.
Yeah. You need to make your way on downtown. Walk your ass fast. But we traded Calvin Ridley, who one does not fit our scheme, refuses to block on a team that wants to have gigantic receivers and run the football constantly.
Yeah.
And then two, wasn't going hard at practice, was scared of contact, was run out of bounds, and was throwing himself on the ground the last time we saw him. The Falcons are due to receive, Terry, a 6th-round pick in the upcoming draft from the Jacksonville Jaguars. If he gets reinstated by some unknown date, that will change to a 5th-round pick. If he makes the team, the Falcons will receive an additional 3rd-round pick the coming year. And if they give him an extension and he stays with the team beyond that, they will receive a 5th-round and a 2nd-round pick for a guy who has not played football in a year, and they would have paid to get off their team.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful work. You know, I haven't seen a heist like this since Herschel Walker. I haven't seen a heist like this since Ricky Williams. I haven't seen a heist like this since Rudy Gobert. You know, just to switch it up. I mean, it's beautiful. I love this. Shout out to your boy. One of the better GMs I've seen in a while. I like it. Jacksonville, hey. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's not making any sense to me. You know, look.
What did you give up for Claypool? What was the draft pick that y'all gave up for Claypool?
I think a 4th. They may have gotten a 2nd though. I gotta check. But
either way, he plays football. He's been on the field.
No, that's
like he's not still indefinitely suspended, where we don't even know when he'll be reinstated.
That's true. That is
AJ Brown went last summer for a 2nd-round pick.
Yep.
Like, and you're paying out this premium for Calvin Ridley? Like, he's DeAndre Hopkins, dude. Like, I don't know what the Jaguars are thinking. I don't know how this could possibly be a good idea for them.
The Jaguars are moving backwards, bro. Like, at first, I'm so confused about what they're doing. You know, they got Travis Etienne Jr. and they got Trevor Lawrence, right? They both played on the same team, okay? All of a sudden, the first 3 weeks of the season, Robinson is getting 20 carries a game. And you're just like, hey, you drafted this dude either in the 1st or 2nd round. I can't remember.
First round.
To compliment Trevor Lawrence, who they were college teammates. Like, they're going to work together. They're a fucking fantastic duo. All of a sudden, you're just like, you're right. We fucked up. You trade Robinson. Then you're like, we're going to make Travis Etienne Jr. bell cow back who weighs 198 pounds soaking wet. And you're like, yeah, nah, we're really going to – he's going to be the guy of the future. He's going to be our bell cow. He's going to fucking carry it 30 times a game. What the fuck are y'all doing? The NFL doesn't do that shit anymore. Zeke isn't doing – it's only one bell cow, Derrick Henry. That's it. And Jonathan Taylor by choice because every quarterback they get in Indianapolis is horrible. You don't do bell cows. You split carries. I don't know what they're doing in Jacksonville. You hired Peterson to get a great coach for an up-and-coming quarterback. Trevor Lawrence almost some games looks like Urban Meyer still coaching his ass. It's like he's got Urban Meyer on a walkie-talkie in his fucking headset. Like, no, I got you, Urban. I'll do it for you. Interception. I don't know what Jacksonville's doing, bro. It's a very confusing move for me, but if Calvin Ridley goes out there and catches 70 balls next year, that'll be fucking hilarious. But if they extend him,
my thing is like you're already paying Christian Kirk nearly $20 million a season.
And they got
gave up a draft pick to get Zay Jones.
Zay Jones, yeah.
Like, are you going to be paying your wide receivers $50 million after you extend Calvin Ridley? So you can have Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk? Like, these are the two guys that you want to pay $50 million to?
On paper, the moves.
On paper. Listen, you better not be planning on running the football if your outside wide receivers are Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley. You better not plan on running ever.
Yeah. You remember when you tried to trade me them on fantasy? I digress. But anyways,
hey,
I mean, look.
Fuck you.
at least they are trying to help out their quarterback. They thought that these dudes would be good on the outside. I'm not going to act like it's a great move.
Can you get somebody who plays football maybe. Like, people act like he's just going to come back and ball when the suspension is over. He was on a Ben Simmons sabbatical, taking time away from football. The last time we saw him, he didn't want to play football. He couldn't play football. He was terrible. He was absolutely awful. And you guys gave up a second-round pick for him. Jacksonville Jaguars, enjoy the swamp. Enjoy the season. Enjoy giving those draft picks up to us. Enjoy spending $100 million in free agency this offseason so that you could get guys like Christian Kirk and Foye Oluokun for $20 million and add Calvin Ridley as the missing piece to this bunch.
I don't know, man.
You guys suck.
Maybe they're secretly tanking and we don't know. You know? Like, maybe they're just doing it because they're in the AFC South, which is, I don't know who's worse, AFC South or NFC South, but the AFC South is pretty fucking bad because you got Houston, Indianapolis, and the Jaguars, and your number one team is the Titans, who gave up A.J. Brown. Tannehill is still their fucking quarterback. They drafted a quarterback who can't throw in Malik Willis. Love Malik, but you can't throw right now. You know, give him some time. And you only have Derrick Henry, and everyone knows you're going to run. And somehow they're still 5-3, and they're like 4 games ahead of everyone in their fucking division. They tank it.
Let me tell you, they're not tanking. They just suck. they're trying to win. They're just not good at it.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
But
Trevor Lawrence.
Trade deadline, you guys get in some fresh wide receiver talent. We send some out. You give up picks. We get some back. Works out great for everybody. I certainly think Chase Claypool has a better chance of being successful in Chicago than Calvin Ridley does in Jacksonville.
Yeah, definitely. That's not even a thing. Definitely.
For a fraction of the price. And Calvin Ridley is like, I don't know if people realize this who are not Falcons fans. He's old as fuck. Calvin Ridley graduated college at like 24.28 or 24.8 years old. Like, he was almost 25 when he came to the NFL. He's going to be like 29 years old coming off his rookie deal, dude. Like, man. Yeah. It's not like you getting a 23-year-old that's a young player that you're going to have in there for a minute. Calvin Ridley, by the time his suspension is up, next season starts, he's going to be like 28, 29 years old.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, besides that, any other trades that intrigued you or, par for the course? Of course, the McCaffrey one, that was, a while ago. But besides that, nothing crazy. I didn't see anything crazy. Roquan Smith, of course, that one was kind of big. Chubb got traded from the Broncos. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't really move the needle for me. The Broncos suck anyway.
A lot of moves,
yeah,
there's a lot of moves.
The I will say the Dolphins are all in. Like, they're like, yeah. I know we tried to kick 2 out the door for Tom Brady and for Trey Lance and for 15 other quarterbacks over the last 18 months, but he's our guy now, and we believe in him now. And if he can recover from these concussions, we have a Super Bowl team put around him.
Hey, look, let me give you my best McDaniels every time Tua gets hit. Here's the playbook. Every time he gets hit, he's like, is he good? All right, next play. ZYX probably. It's crazy down there, man. I pray for Tua, but yeah, the Dolphins all in. I like it. You see what they did? They doubled down on 2 running backs. They're not stupid. Jacksonville, you're gonna get Travis Etienne Jr. hurt. I like the kid, but you gotta get him fucking hurt.
If you think he's gonna get hurt this year, wait till you see Calvin Ridley try to block for him. They better pick up fucking that motherfucker from Green Bay to back up.
By the time next year comes around, Calvin Ridley's gonna be betting against the Jaguars. The motherfuckers are bad. He's gonna go, wow, this team sucks. Yeah, I'm going for the Colts in this one, guys. Sorry, coach. I ain't got the stick him on. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
hey,
NFL.
That's a tough bet. But an easy bet for most folks at the beginning of the year was that the Golden State Warriors were going to be the best team in the West. They've struggled so far. I think they have the same record as the Los Angeles Lakers, who
they got one more win. Just one.
Okay. They have the same amount of losses as the Los Angeles Lakers, a team who we're talking about like the sky is falling at every single moment. And yet, for the Warriors, nobody seems so concerned. James Wiseman has looked absolutely god-awful, despite having flashes of incredible athleticism. Jonathan Kuminga is getting coaches DMP CDs. And Moses Moody looks like the only young player who looks ready to contribute. For the Warriors, they replaced a lot of those veteran role players from last season. Otto Porter Jr., Gary Payton, probably some other folks I'm forgetting about. And
for veterans. Yeah.
And so then they were like, these young guys will just step up. And so far, they're experiencing some growing pains. How long do you think Golden State is willing to endure the growing pains of these young players? And at what point of the season do you say them saying, hey, enough's enough. We have a championship core here. It's time to make a trade.
I don't know. I think we all made a mistake. I think they are who they are. This is going to happen when you double down on Jordan Poole, which I'm not saying it's a mistake, but like you got rid of guys that could play defense to give someone that's an outstanding offensive player, but is sometimes lost defensively. Their team just isn't as good as they used to be defensively. When you're going to have young guys, they're going to have mistakes. It's going to happen throughout the season. Can they get better defensively just because they're young and athletic? Probably. But they're going to go through some growing pains. And I just think that we thought Steph Curry's greatness, Draymond's ability to be, like a leader and defensive player, he kind of fucked up their chemistry with that punch. That fucked it up. Klay Thompson doesn't look like himself one game and then looks like himself another. A little inconsistent. And Wiseman is playing like shit. That's it. I mean, that's pretty much every problem that's going on. And Wiggins doesn't look like finals Wiggins. I mean, Wiggins is who he is. I don't expect him to be great or bad. He's average. He's above average. Sometimes he's really good. Sometimes he's not. He's Wiggins. The team is just inconsistent. Everyone isn't consistent as they used to be. And Steph isn't being great. If Steph's not great, it seems like this team just isn't good. And if Steph's not great, they're a fucking, I'm not going to say 8 seed, but 6 or 7. They're not.
But how long do you hold out hope that the young guys are going to come around? And you're like, we give them 45 games, they'll learn. They'll learn their habits. James Wiseman will stop trying to block every shot and go get some rebounds. Jonathan Kuminga will learn not to play out of control and make better decisions. And maybe 45 games into the season, they've turned into like actual rotation players. But if you're like at the All-Star break and these guys still suck, like I feel like you have to look at trading some of them and bringing in people who can actually help you win, because the Warriors are still in their prime. The championship window is still open. And right now with Steph Curry off the court, they are minus 22 per 100 possessions.
Yeah. You can see it. It's pretty bad, but these flashes need to turn into, a couple games. It can't just be like moments. It has to be multiple games where you're good. Otherwise, the trade value isn't going to be worth it. I mean, you can trade them for some veterans if you want to. You can try to pick up somebody if you want to, but at this moment in time, and it's still early, we're still not going to overreact, but losing to Orlando is very fucking questionable to me, man. And letting Orlando score 130 is very, very fucking questionable to me, bro. Like,
Steve Kerr was looking at fucking Franz Wagner like with starry eyes, and then staring over at Kuminga on the bench.
Yeah, I look, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. We can go ahead and say it. They made a mistake. They should have drafted LaMelo Ball. Man. They made a huge mistake, bro. So
2 of them in a row. They should have got LaMelo Ball over Wiseman. They should have got Wagner over Kuminga.
Yeah.
How different would the Warriors look with those 2 guys on the team?
Oh, my God. Just LaMelo alone is fucking Jesus, bro. They fucked up, man. Why does everybody do this shit? Why are we still with this big man shit? Huh? Why are we still doing this?
They're getting greedy. They got greedy. They're like, we're going to do what the Spurs did and bridge our dynasty so it lasts 25 years. And we're going to take the guy with the highest upside in the whole draft who could be a generational player. And it's like, hey, you guys already have a championship level core. How about you get guys who could help you win basketball games during the next 3 seasons when you're going to be good enough to still win the championship? How about that?
Like, the only reason I wanted LaMelo to go there is because, like, if you would have taught him the player movement of Curry and Thompson, this dude would have been one of the best players in all of NBA history. But, they wanted to go with the big man. What do we see these days? Who wins the championships? The guys who can dribble, the guys who can play make. Jokic is an exception. He's very fucking good at both. He can do that shit. B, questionable. Hasn't gone past the second round. Giannis, he can dribble. He can do his own shit. Luka, LeBron, Giannis, Tatum. Come on, Booker. They're all dribbling motherfuckers. This ain't no big man's game. It's not.
Listen, man. Anytime that you're a dominant big man, you rely upon guards, one, to get you the ball, and then two, to be able to make shots when you're double teamed. So a wing can do it all themselves. A guard, like a small guard, you're almost like a big man. You can't do it all yourself. You're going to get blocked at the rim. You got to have teammates to make shots. Got to be a playmaker. But if you're one of these 6'6" to 6'10" guys who can dribble, that's the sweet spot.
Yeah,
so
that's what you want.
And that's what we see are the most valuable players in the whole NBA every single time. It's those guys.
It's unbelievable that they drafted him, and I'm saying it now. It's done. It's a mistake. They fucked up. He's not good. It is. He's not good. He's a bust. I will say this too. The NBA does have a problem with it seems like they want to get away from the big man on the block because they are letting every mismatch. They are letting the smaller guy just do whatever the fuck they want with the center down low, and they don't call any of it. And as soon as the big man shows any sort of strength, they're just like, "Oh, foul on you." Going the other way, offensive foul. I don't like seeing it. I really hate it, but that's what they wanted.
I mean, this way it's been fucking forever, though. You used to see guys hanging all over Shaq like they were going to the zoo, and then he fucking drop steps and clears out with his elbow, and it's like a flagrant foul.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm clearing my space out.
I think it's a lot worse now because, when the refs are coming up into the rinks, in every level of basketball, there's no dominating big man. So when they see it, they're just like, "Oh, nah, he's fouling this dude." So I don't know.
And then also, the less you do things, the more you'll be able to do it in a game. If you're practicing popping out to the 3-point line and shooting threes and setting picks and doing dribble handoffs, and you're not posting up in practice and you're not getting those reps in a game, after a couple of years, it goes away. Ask Brook Lopez. He can't post up for shit anymore. He used to be one of the best post-up players in the whole league. It's like what they said in 40-year-old version. Is it true if you don't use it, you lose it?
Nah, it's facts, man. It's complete facts. It's disappointing, but, this is the league. This is the league we're in.
Let me talk about one where I lost it, Terry. The Minnesota Timberwolves. They look like an abject abomination to start the season. Anthony Edwards has not dunked a basketball yet. Karl Anthony Towns showed up 10 pounds underweight, and there was talk about how Anthony Edwards eats the bad food, and he showed up overweight. I checked out the Anthony Edwards official weight, Terry.
Yeah.
They updated it just to hang him out to dry.
Wow.
He's listed at 240-something pounds.
That's pretty fucking small, bro. Especially he's 7 feet, right? Or 6'11"?
Anthony Edwards?
Oh, you said Edwards. My bad. I thought you said Cat. I'm so fucking off.
No. He's 240-something. He's like 247. It's what they listed him at.
Hey, yo. That's kind of big, bro. He's like 6'5".
For a two-guard. For a fucking two-guard. In Anthony Edwards' own words, when asked about how he has not dunked a basketball this season.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I'm only 6'4". I can't just be out here jumping over everybody.
Hey, man.
The paint looks clogged. Rudy Gobert can't finish around the hoop or beat mismatches. Karl Anthony Towns doesn't know where he's supposed to be and is taking all long twos and threes. Anthony Edwards can't find a pocket of space and has been limited to a diet of step-back jumpers. Is it too early to say I was wrong?
No, I mean, it's not. Where did you have him again? 3 or 2?
3 in the West. They got the thing that I messed up, Terry, and I try not to do this every year. I try not to just look at the players on paper and the 2K ratings and all that type of stuff. And I try to look at who's going to be the leader of the team, who's going to keep people accountable, Who's going to make sure that they don't fuck up their defensive rotations?
Yeah.
Who is it? Kyle Anderson?
Rudy Gobert? I don't know.
D'Angelo Russell? Torian Prince? Naz Reid? Who is it?
It seems like
they don't have one. They got no adult in the room, dude.
Nah.
It's a bunch of little ass kids over there in Minnesota arguing about touches, arguing about diet, arguing about shot selection. There's no adult in the room. Trade D'Angelo for Mike Conley. Get it done. Go back to being third in the West.
Wow. Nah. It seems like for as much as we love Anthony Edwards and his like personality, he's a little more immature than we thought he was. Because it seems like he's not taking this shit too serious. That's what it kind of seems like. But, as the season progresses.
Should we start putting Anthony Edwards on disgruntled Star Watch right now? I'm being dead serious. Should we put him on disgruntled Star Watch starting today? Mark this moment.
Is it him or is it a cat problem?
Well, Gobert ain't going nowhere. Karl Anthony Towns got the whole bag. Anthony Edwards is the one who's still on his rookie deal. Like, you gonna trade away Big Cat? I certainly would. I would have traded Big Cat away the fucking last season, but
I don't know if you can win with him, bro. His playing style is. What
is his playing style? Because it changed from game to game. There's no consistency in his playing style. The only thing that's consistent is he attempts wild passes like he's Nikola Jokic and throws the ball out of bounds twice a game. That's the only thing that's consistent.
He's a stretch big, but I think he needs to be the third option for a team that's going to be good because his shot selection is just – it makes no sense. Like I think he'd be perfect for LeBron. He would be, but the way
you're absolutely right. He needs to be Dominican Cavs Kevin Love. That's what he needs to be.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. His shot selection is bad. His shot selection reminds me of like Chris Bosh when he first played with LeBron on the Heat. Like, it's like I can shoot, but I'm shooting too many threes, but I got to do something to help the team out. You know what I'm saying? It's like
that's not also a lot of long twos and pick and pop elbow jumpers and shit and fucking turn around post fades.
We're picking at his offense. His defense is also he can't. Every time he gets switched on a guard, it's just like go ahead and start the music.
Hey man,
get the feet moving. That guy he looks like a clown.
And this is what I said when they first did the trade. I was like, y'all gave first 5-round picks so you could move your best player out of position to a position that he has no chance of guarding.
Yes.
And now look at Karl Anthony Towns when he's asked to play the 4. They're like, okay, we'll just put in a stretch 4 and run him through a bunch of screens, and you'll get lost because you don't know how to fucking cover shooters. You don't know how to slide your feet and guard on the perimeter. You don't know how to properly communicate pick and roll switches. I'm going under. I'm going over. I need you to hedge. I need you to catch hedge. He doesn't know how to do any of that shit. He's just getting fucking roasted. And so they're like, well, here's the solution. We'll just stagger him and Gobert.
No. Those are your guys.
So
you have to win with them.
So now they have 2 different defensive schemes. Actually, they have 3. With Gobert playing center, they play drop. With Karl Anthony Towns playing center, they play this hyper-aggressive, blitzing Nikola Jokic on the Nuggets type of scheme where he's up on all the pick and rolls with his hands out trying to get deflections.
Yeah.
And then when they play the 2 of them together, there's no plan at all. It's just a scramble drill is what it is.
I can't watch them. They're a hard team to watch, bro.
You're right. Their questions offensively pale to those defensively. And for a team that I thought was like, I thought they had a guaranteed blueprint. I was like, Rudy Gobert can do all the shit Jared Vanderbilt did on offense a little better. Same thing on defense. Have him be the roamer. Have Towns at the rim. Let Gobert be the Robert Williams. Let him be the Jared Vanderbilt. And it hasn't worked. It's looked fucking terrible.
It's bad. It's bad. I'm out on the Timberwolves. I think they actually, I was about to say I think they will make the playoffs, but I'm not sure. Because like I said before in the last joint, the Timberwolves are, well, now it's a new record now. What are they? 4-4? Timberwolves are 4-4. They have played the Thunder twice. They have played the Spurs twice. They have played the Lakers once. So that's 5 games. They have played.
That should have been 5 wins right there. They only have 4.
They should be something and 1. Because the only good team they played is the Suns, and they lost to them. But they lost to the Spurs, and they lost to the Thunder. And they almost lost to the Lakers when the Lakers were horrible. They're still bad, but they're kind of getting their shit together because Westbrook's coming off the bench. But your schedule started off so easy. You got to be better than 4-4. And the fact that they're not, and I know it's early and it's a really new team. I get it. It's not looking good for them. I still think they're a playoff team, but they got a lot of shit to work out. And even if it does all connect, I don't know how good they are, to be honest with you. We haven't seen it, so I don't know how good they're going to be. I really don't.
The last guy who coached this team, Flip Saunders, it killed him. He had a heart attack and died. Chris Finch, listen, you better be on some cholesterol medication. You better be getting your platelets checked. I see him every 30-second timeout. I see him every time Rudy Gobert can't post up Dennis Schroeder. Yeah, Mike McDaniels. Mike McDaniels.
He's just crying under the clipboard. Oh, God. It's done, brother. It's done. That's the most Timberwolves talk y'all hear for the season. But anyways, Lakers got 2 wins. We can go there, or we can go to my regret on the East if I have one.
Let's go to your regret on the East.
All right.
The Lakers will be here all season. We got plenty of time. Nothing's going to change with them.
Yeah. I will say Lonnie Walker was shooting better, which probably won't continue to happen. Also, though, AD is playing better the last couple games that they won. Westbrook's coming off the bench. I kind of like that. I think Ham figured out, he was like, fuck it. AD and Westbrook are going to be out, and I'm just going to put LeBron out there with all the shooters that I have. And those lineups have been killing it. But we'll give you numbers, coming up soon. All right, my biggest regret on the East so far this season, even though my shit's looking pretty right, I'm going to have to say Toronto, man. Toronto's looking pretty fucking good.
What I tell you about them boys?
Yeah, Scotty Barnes is showing me some shit. He's showing me some shit in that bag. I'm looking, he's doing some tweens, hezzy, boom, boom, dunk, slams, threes. Scotty Barnes is looking fucking good. I'm not going to lie. He looks really good. I predicted them, I think, 8th or 7th in the East. By the way, Miami's looking really good for me this year. Just saying. I had Miami 8th seed, and everyone's like, what's going on in Miami? But anyways, they suck. And they beat the Warriors, which is a big achievement for them. Did you all see how they beat the Warriors? The Warriors suck. Anyways.
Kyle Lowry had 11 points. He's back.
Toronto looks good, man. I still kind of worry about I don't think they've played the Bucks or the Sixers yet. Let me take a look.
Tell you what, they beat the hell out of us. Forced Trae Young into 11 turnovers. Beat us by about 35 points.
Y'all's team
our fucking ass.
Y'all's team can't handle them, bro. They're too long for y'all. Toronto's
their defense. And points, Harry. Can I tell you a secret?
Go ahead.
They look better without Van Vliet. Without that short guy in there that you can kind of pick on, that you can switch around into getting mismatches on, that causes the defense to scramble. Without him out there, OG Anunoby showing some good juice off the bounce. Pascal Siakam looking like a point center, bringing the ball up like Jokic, initiating a pick and roll, playing as the center. Scotty Barnes, the point forward, great assist to turnover ratio.
Yep.
They're picking up the playmaking duties, and now it's like, oh, yeah, every player we have on the court is at least 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan.
No, that's facts. So I was mistaken. I did actually watch the Sixers play the Raptors. The Raptors won by 10. It was 119-109. Embiid smoked them. But I will say this, what they did in the fourth, they're like, everyone else has to beat us. And Tyrese Maxey almost did it because he scored 31 as well. Embiid and Maxey scored 31. Harden didn't give me a whole lot that game.
That's a bad matchup against the Raptors for Harden.
Yeah.
Any of those guys that, like, they have to have the ball in their hands the whole time, like Trae Young, Harden, Luka, those guys are a tough matchup for the Raptors.
Well, pretty much, and I don't know, the strategy might not work every single time, but in the fourth, it was like, all right, we'll double Embiid like we're fucking middle schoolers. Like, as soon as you catch the ball, you're just not going to score. he passed it out to, the other people, and they just missed the shots almost every single time. So I don't know if that's going to work every time, because eventually they might trade Tobias Harris. I'm just saying. He's looking a little weird out there. I don't know. He doesn't exactly fit for them. His three ball is not going down again. He used to be able to he was a knockdown shooter like fucking 4 years ago. I don't know what happened to his jump shot, but that shit's gone. Harden was making his threes, Maxey was making his, but it was like Harris and whoever else. House was missing him. Tucker was missing him. I don't think that's a recipe for the success for the Raptors when they play the Sixers. But I'm not sure what they can do, because they can't guard Embiid. That's just straight up. It's just not happening. And that was the only thing I was saying. Even though they got the victory, it was interesting watching their strategy, man. I will say that. I don't know what other things they can kind of throw at him. They can just hope that Embiid is 85% of himself again, which he probably will be. So, it might work out for them. Play the health game. It'll probably work.
The health game. I like it. I think the Raptors, man, like, they're just 2 steps ahead of everyone else, dude. With the team construction, with all the like fluid athletes that can switch. You got all these guys who can dribble, pass, shoot, and play defense. Yeah, it's just like a whole team full of 5-tool players, and I love the way that they think about basketball. But most important, maybe to their development, is a guy who I picked to take the leap for like 4 seasons in a row, and it looks like he's finally taking the leap in OG Anunoby. My man is like, he was compared to Kawhi defensively coming out. He's starting to finally look like it. He's starting to get into that realm where it's like, you can't dribble around him. Like, if you're not 100% tight with your handles, if you're not the lead ball handler or like a star player, do not dribble around this man, because he's taking it. And he's upped his defensive game to another level. He looks like a legitimate defensive player of the year candidate. And if he can be like a legitimate shutdown 3-and-D guy, that changes everything for the Raptors.
It does, bro. Because if you can throw out Anunoby, Siakam, Barnes,
Gary Trent.
Yeah, I don't know if VanVleet's going to be out there or not. They do need a ball handler for real. You have to have somebody that can fucking dribble. Like, Siakam and Barnes can dribble, but that's a hard ask to be like, hey, look, I need y'all to be like point guards, point forwards out there. That's going to be a little tough. Give them some time.
No love for Malachi Flynn?
Nah, he's okay. He's okay. I don't know. It's just like the teams, when they're playing bad teams, they're smoking them, which is a great fucking characteristic to have when you're going to be a good team. You smoke bad teams, you play well against the good teams, and you beat average teams. They're fucking smoking every team that sucks. The Spurs, they beat them by 50 almost. So it's like,
these Raptors could win 50 games, man. At the end of the season, they could win 50 games. With everyone else having their problems, with the Celtics with the new coach and injury questions, Robert Williams isn't completely healthy, integrating Malcolm Brogdon, yada, yada, yada. The Nets have their own dumpster fire. Miami is looking like they've lost the little bit of magic they had. Atlanta is still clearly working things out.
I told you. What'd I tell you? Can I have my spotlight?
The New York Knicks got waxed by the Hawks, so they're not even in the discussion.
Knicks are 11th. I already chose them. Knicks are 11th. They look exactly how I thought they were going to look.
The Pistons thought they were going to make the play-in and look like the worst team in the league. Oh, wait, that's the Magic?
The offense really look good, but their defense is a little off.
And even the number one team that we all picked, the 76ers, looking very fragile, showing their cracks. Only team worth a shit in the East looks like the Bucks. After we were like, the East is 12 deep this year. God damn, there are 12 teams that can make the playoffs. So the timing is right for the Toronto Raptors, and a 50-win season is right for the picking if they put all their chips on the table.
Nah, I mean, like, I still think it's tough because the Cavs actually legitimately look really good too, though. I'm not gonna sit here and act like they don't, because I watched that Cavs Celtics game either last night or Tuesday. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland with a fucking leaned on eye. I mean, he looks good.
In the regular season, not having a 3 may not even matter. Mobley and Allen are so dominant defensively. It's like Mobley just cleans up whatever fucking problems that they present. It's like he's like, I'm the trash man. I'll take out the trash. What is it, Tuesday? Thursday? When does the trash come in? Doesn't matter. It's every night for me.
Did you get to watch that game? Or did you miss
the Raptors-Cavs one?
No, the Cavs.
Celtics-Cavs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it.
The fuck are we doing with this Joe Mazzulla drawing up a game-winning jump shot for Jaylen Brown? I love Jaylen Brown. But Tatum is your fucking guy, all right? I'm sick of this stupid shit. Let Tatum do his thing. Let him cook. He's a better jump shooter. He's a better three-point shooter.
But Tony Kukoc.
And plus, shoot, man, even Robert Williams is not even in the lineup, and the Celtics still look really fucking good. This is gonna be scary. If we can get 50 games out of Robert, the Celtics are gonna win a lot of fucking games. I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting, bro. This is gonna be interesting. The Cavs look good to me. Donovan Mitchell looks like he fits perfectly with them, though.
Yeah, that's a wrap, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the Habitual Line Steppers podcast. Make sure to tune back in on Tuesday for our Kicking It with the HLS Pod episode. Check out our short clip on Steve Nash getting fired and me calling the Ime Udoka signing before Woj, before Chams, before anybody in the league. Your boy with the goggles out here peering off into the NBA distance like George Washington crossing the Delaware. All right? I know what's coming ahead. You guys will know, too, when you tune back in.
Third Eye Kai. All right, bro. Peace out. Steve Nash, bad coach. Everybody. North Carolina continue to stand up, man. Peace out. We out here, baby.
You keep going over this nonsense, I'm going to go Miles Bridges on your ass.
Thank you for listening to our podcast this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind.